Good morning to you. I just have to say this, Emmanuel. I love this video. I love the tone. I love your energy. I love your candor. I don't know you, but I love everything about what you're doing, starting with this. You just said, I'm a big fan. If the white person is your problem, then the white person is your solution. How so?
Yeah, I fervently believe that right now, black people, African Americans, we have been pleading out for years, for hundreds of years, for help. But ultimately, the white person, our white brothers and sisters, they are the ones who are in power. They are the ones who truly run this country, if we're being honest. And so I realize it's not necessarily about what I know, Gail. It's about what I can get my white brothers and sisters to know. And if they want to stand with us, which so many of them desperately want to do at this point in time, well, then let me help educate them, Gail. Let me help increase their level of knowledge so they can fully feel our level of pain so they can fully help.
Well, I'm curious, Emmanuel, about how this came about, because I don't know about you, but I've had so many white friends and colleagues. Emmanuel, I even heard from someone in high school, and it's been a minute since I've been to high school, asking, what can I do to support? Yeah, you don't need to laugh at that. You don't need to laugh at that. So I'm wondering, are you getting the same thing? How did this come about?
Yeah, so it came about in a crazy way. On Thursday, I realized maybe God put me in this position for now. I went to a predominantly white private school in Dallas, Texas, but I played in the NFL in a way different cultures. And I said, I know how to communicate with these white brothers and with these white sisters. And so, Gail, I called up a studio space and I just rented out the space. And in one take, Gail, I opened up my eyes and I just started talking. I never cut the camera, never hit pause, and I just poured out my heart. I realized, Gail, that white people predominantly have 4 questions that I hear a lot. Why do y'all think white privilege exists? Why can black people say the N-word, but white people can't? What about black on black crime? Are we paying no attention to that? And why are you all rioting? And Gail, I just wanted to address all the questions that are uncomfortable for so many of my white friends.
Yeah. But this is the thing, you say whiteness can be weaponized. I really like what you said about white privilege and the analogy that you made. And you gave some very specific examples in your life about the mailbox. Talk about that, about the elevator. Can you talk about your definition of that? It was really well done.
So I preface with this. White privilege is not saying that your life hasn't been hard as a white person. White privilege is simply saying your skin color, it hasn't contributed to the difficulty of your life. I talk about as a black man living in an affluent neighborhood in Austin. When I pull up to a mailbox, if I see a white person walking up, I will consciously sit in my car. Because I don't want to make her feel like I'm a threat. If I'm in an elevator, Gail, with a white woman or a white man, I'm going to push the elevator button first, and I'm going to get off the elevator first in a rush, because I don't want them to feel like I am a threat. And remember, Gail, Amy Cooper last week, the white woman in Central Park who called the cops on a black man who was threatening her life when obviously he wasn't. I'm reminded of 1955, Emmett Till, the 14-year-old boy who was mutilated, lynched, and murdered because a white woman claimed he flirted with her. Well, in 2017, Gail, that white woman recanted that story. The 2 white men who murdered Emmett Till, they got off because they knew they couldn't be charged again due to double jeopardy. They got off and they admitted that they did it. So I say this, Gail, imagine if camera phones didn't exist. Imagine what would have happened, not just in that Central Park incident, but even today. Yeah, and so that was what I just wanted to inform. I wanted to inform, Gail, my white brothers and sisters, like, look, don't feel guilty, don't feel bad, but if you want to step into this fight, if you want to be the solution to this world peace that we need, just simply educate yourself.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, it's Anthony Mason. I wanted to jump in with a question. By the way, I'm stunned that this is still happening even with camera phones. You'd think that would help stop it, people knowing they're photographed. But I want to turn to a story about NFL superstar Drew Brees, who's being criticized by his teammates for comments that he wouldn't support any player taking a knee during the national anthem. First, I want to play Brees' comments and reaction by his teammate Malcolm Jenkins. Let's take a listen.
I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America or our country. I think what you do by standing there and showing respect to the flag with your hand over your heart is it shows unity. It shows that we are all in this together. we can all do better and that we are all part of the solution.
Drew Brees, if you don't understand how hurtful, how insensitive your comments are, you are part of the problem. When we step off of this field and I take my helmet off and I'm a black man walking around America and I'm telling you I'm dealing with these things, I'm telling you my communities are dealing with these things, and your response to me is, don't talk about that here. This is not the place. Drew, where is the place, Drew?
This morning, Brees issued a lengthy apology for his comments, saying it breaks his heart to realize how much pain he has caused. He added, quote, I recognize that I am part of the solution and can be a leader for the black community in this movement. Emmanuel, what's your reaction to all of that?
Well, let me set the record straight, my friend Anthony, because the agenda with Colin Kaepernick got moved. Colin Kaepernick at first was told to take a knee by a Green Beret, a man by the name of Nate Boyer, who I actually played football with at the University of Texas. He served in the military for over a decade and continues to serve. So for those that don't know, that's just a quick fact check. Colin Kaepernick wasn't the one who initiated taking the knee. Colin Kaepernick was sitting. A former military person, Nate Boyer, told Colin Kaepernick it would be more honorable to take a knee. I'm disappointed in Drew Brees. I played with Malcolm Jenkins with the Philadelphia Eagles. I know Malcolm Jenkins' heart. Drew Brees has to understand, how can you tell a oppressed person when to protest oppression? That does not make sense to me, Anthony. That in and of itself intrinsically defines the fact that oppression exists. I am going to tell you when you can protest your mistreatment. That, to me, does not make sense. So Drew Brees, I would hope that he would be somebody who would watch one of the videos that I put out and just learn more before you speak, because this isn't about disrespecting a flag. This never was about a flag. This was about awareness.
Right. Emmanuel, I hope everybody watches your video, by the way, of every color. Thank you so much for being with us today. Emmanuel Acho, we appreciate it.